What up, everybody? It's your old buddy Josh. A little bit early. We got Gordon in the house. We got Tom in the house. Look at Tom. We got Pulverizer. Right on. We got CB in the Philippines, or CB in Michigan or the Philippines. Where are you, right, man? Where are you? We got DB Douglas. We got that guy, Pay to Sap. Yeah, thanks. Actually, how ironic it is. I'm going to share this. Can y'all hear me first of all? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. I got this little bit of a cowlick thing right there. Weird. Kevin Hawthorne's in the house. Look at old Kevin there crushing. Pulverizer hears me. As long as Pulverizer hears me. Hey, Mark from Philly's in the house. Look at old Mark and the Get Fresh crew. All right. Andrew's here. All right. Our cast-offs, our castaways, a typical castaway crew. All right. John's in the house. All right. John Fallon, yeah, right on. There's John. Anyway, so how ironic I came across this in my Twitter feed, because I'm on Twitter. X is what I'm on. X. So I'll share this with you. I don't follow golf because I like women, so I don't follow golf. It's also, I see the Stars are playing tonight. I think they're dropping the puck. Denise is here. I think they're dropping the puck here just a little bit, as a matter of fact. And we'll have to keep. And the Celtics are playing too. So the party can start now. The party's been going on, Denise. Already been going on. You're late again, Denise. Late again. We started this party at 7. Just goofing you, Denise. Just goofing you. So check this out. So because I'm on X, here's Michael Cernovich, which I like quite a bit. People before. So this guy right here, 2-time PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray dies Saturday morning. I don't know. I don't follow golf because I like women. All right. So if you don't like women, you follow golf. But I'm sure there's someone out there who literally is getting offended right now. But anyway, and those people can say it. Before you ask about his jab status, please read this article. If, after reading about his battles with alcohol and depression, you still want to say it was a vax, I can't stop you. It's not always the jab, folks. Pray up for his family, 100%. So this guy, I haven't read the article, but it sounds like he had a struggle with drugs and alcohol, or at least in this case, was it drugs and alcohol? Alcohol. And it's just sad, man. It's sad that that people struggle so much with that, with alcohol and or depression. And they look for stuff to take off their minds off what they're going for. And just for me, 27 years tonight was the last time I ever drank. It's just, like I said in the email, is that I very much enjoyed drinking. I liked it. It made me feel you lose your inhibitions. You know what I'm saying? It just made you feel good. There's no other way around it. And it was very, very relaxing. Remember, drinking alcohol isn't a stimulant. It's not like hey, thanks, Cal. My man Cal says, saw your newsletter. Thanks. Brian's in the house. There's Brian. So Brian just wants to announce he's in. And when he leaves, he's going to say, I don't like what Josh is talking about. I'm out of here. Thanks, Denise. Happy George Floyd Memorial Day, by the way. President Biden wants you to know that George Floyd should still be alive. And hey, Harry, we all got to make sure we remembrance George Floyd. And on top of that, we had an ASU, some kind of tribute thing to him where they made him, George Floyd died for us all. James in the house. You got Harry and James in the house. How stupid is that? Like someone said on X, is Carol Swain, who crushes. Free Derek Chauvin, exactly. Carol Swain had reposted somebody saying how ironic it is, or insane it is, that Ben Carson separated two twins who were born, I don't know if you call them Siamese twins, I don't know what you call it, with his hands, and everyone hates him. But George Floyd is a freaking meth crack addict who died from drug overdose, and everyone wants to sanctify George Floyd, man. It's how crazy. It's insane, man. Ben Carson, and I say everyone who matters, because the media dictates what matters, and they all hate Ben Carson, but George Floyd, the whole thing is just so stupid. And I think people are getting over this stuff, frankly. I remember George Floyd today. I threw a brick through a window. Well, I'm not saying you should do that. Well, actually, Keynesian economics would say you stimulate the economy. This is a thing. The funny thing is, the media and the Republicans, the conservatives think they hate the media, and they still follow the media. I like what's the media thing with what's the thing now, the San Melito flag or something like that. It's like it's just what. Why do Republicans allow the media to dictate what they want to talk about? That's the weirdest thing to me. It's like Sam Alito flag. Who cares? I don't care. No one cares, other than the media. So why are you giving him any oxygen? It's the weirdest thing to me ever. The media says Sam Alito has a flag, but don't they remember when Ruth Bader Ginsburg? I'm like, oh, why are you even playing their game? Just who gives a rat's ass, man? Just don't pay any attention. Why do you give him oxygen? It's the weirdest thing. I don't get it, man. All right, so it's crazy. Remember, actually, yeah. So anyway, so Ben Carson doesn't get memorialized, but George Floyd does. That's the whole thing. So stupid, so dumb. Anyway, so I had written in my thing that in my newsletter thing, whatever it's called, that and I don't write very much. I don't like to write. To be perfectly honest, once I started doing videos, I like doing videos. That's why I'm having a hard time. Hey, Chuck B, where you at in Maine, dude? That's why I have a hard time with my next book, because I actually very much enjoy videos over writing. James says, I never drank, but I can see. Oh, man, you should see some of these emails I'm getting on this stuff, James. It's crazy. Like, here's my man email here today, which I'm obviously not going to share you with who it is. Actually, it's crazy. Some of these people email me. I can't answer all the emails. Sorry, I just got so many emails from that email I sent. There's no way I can respond to them all. So if y'all had sent me an email, I appreciate it. I've read them all. I just can't respond. This guy says, I'm 65, and he quit on January 1st, 1995. I couldn't begin to tell you the story. Some were fun, but mostly all were ruined with my drinking and drugs. That New Year's Day, I told my mom and wife the bud I had in my hand was the last drink I'd ever had. Budweiser, the last drink I ever had. It was very hard the first year, but I have zero urge to touch alcohol ever again. I would have been dead or in jail, and would never see my two Gibbs growing up. Yeah, 100%, dude. Apparently, booze hounds love sharing the stories. It's kind of like when you find Jesus, man. You love to share your stories. Oh yeah, 100%. I can't believe Kyle Rittenhouse is still alive either. Yeah. Yeah, they just need to They just need to stop watching the news, man. Then I had let's see here. Yep, here's my man right here. I was afflicted heavily with drinking alcohol. He's from Boston. My last drink was January 2nd, 2012. I'm still going strong and loving the freedom and clarity it brings. My regret is that I wish I had quit 45 years ago. 100%, man. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't 100%. She says, I know there's something special about you. Al-Anon saved me from enabling addicts and ruining myself. Now I can detach with love and let natural consequences happen without taking responsibility for what is not mine. I applaud you for hearing your sharp. I can't understand what she's saying there. All right, 100%. My man says, I've seen many that couldn't stop and ruin their lives and the lives of those who love them. Yeah, 100%, man. This guy says, my mother died of alcoholism at 49. Cirrhosis of the liver. She did horrific things when she was drunk, yet she had no memory of the next day. Yeah, 100%. Right before she died, she said, I'm sorry, this guy. I told her it was okay. What else could I say? I made a vow never to put my kids through what I went through as a child, and I kept that vow. You start out by doing stupid crap, and I'm glad 100%. All these things, man. This guy says, I quit a couple of years ago and haven't touched a drop since. I was a functional alcoholic for years. Dude, I've been through 100%. Now, this guy says, probably a tough email to write. It was not a tough email to write. It was an easy email to write because it's true. So I want to share with you. I don't know if I can find it. Yeah, so look, this guy says, I drink on occasion, but I have a problem with stronger things in 92 to 95. Looking back, I'm amazed I'm still alive. I haven't touched any of that stuff in 30 years. I'm 52 now, married with a successful job and a great wife. Again, I can't respond to all these people who email me, man. I can count the number. This guy doesn't. Oh, okay, that's someone else. Anyway, I want to read just one who sent sent this to me. My anniversary is 1982. A cold December morning when I was released from a living hell. I was only 25 years, but felt 125. My life is so full of gratitude and joy. I found sobriety in AA and have come to believe that Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I haven't had a drink for 6 years. It wasn't just work for me. I have many active alcoholics in my family. I don't miss it. Coming up on 35 years of sobriety for me. One of the best things along with accepting Jesus. It's I tell you, see, you can't when this stuff happens, you can't be like all negative how can you be negative and pessimistic when you know how the story ends? You just can't be. We can't be negative. You can't. You got to be positive. Hold on. I just want to. Right here. Thanks for sharing this with me, Josh. I'm having trouble putting to words how profoundly this email has affected me. Thank you. God bless you on your journey. Congratulations on the person you have become. So let's say a prayer for this. I think it's a woman. I'm having trouble putting the words how profoundly this has affected me. I think it's a chick. She's going through some issues. So let's say prayers. Dear Heavenly Father, I just pray for those people who are suffering right now, be it addiction that they're fighting off, addiction that loved ones fighting off. It's horrible. It's horrific. And it's Satan. It's satanic. And Lord, the only way we can free ourselves from Satan is from turning over to you. We can't do this on our own. We don't have the strength. Only the Lord can beat back Satan. And God, I just pray for these people who are affected. I pray for their families. I pray for their children. Just give them the strength, just one day at a time, good Lord. I just pray to give them the strength to turn everything over to you and do their best to walk away. We pray in Jesus' name, amen. Who knows what someone's going through right now? It's just, it's crazy. I've never drank. I watched both my brothers and ex-husband drink. I've been so grateful for me. Anyway, I had a friend of mine. Well, he was my roommate. I consider him a friend. And he never drank. It's kind of like Trump. Remember how Trump doesn't drink because I think his brother or his dad or something like that. But anyway, this one of my roommates in college, and his brother was a raging alcoholic, and so this guy said, "I'm never drinking," because the way his brother was, and he was addicted to narcotics as well. Anyway, stupidly, we all worked in a bar in Arlington, Virginia, and his brother, I can't remember. We got out of, I can't remember what it was, but he was like making, he was trying to get his life squared away. He had a beautiful lady. She was freaking hot, a nice little bouncing baby. He was trying to get right, and for some reason, he wanted. I didn't give him, but we gave him a job in the bar, even though we know he's an addict and an alcoholic, and it's stupid to do so. And he stayed sober for about the first year. Anyway, I became manager, and Thanksgiving, believe it or not, on Thanksgiving night, it's pretty busy in the bar. Thanksgiving and Christmas not so much, but Thanksgiving certainly is busy. And he was supposed to work a shift for me on Thanksgiving, and he didn't show up. I was so pissed off. It's like, dude, because now we don't have the staff, which meant I had to do the managing, and then I had to take over his section for the server tables and whatnot. I mean, you can make a lot of money too on Thanksgiving. And it was just so busy, dude. It was nuts. And I just said, man, and I remember telling his brother, I said, dude, I can't, because this wasn't the first time he didn't show up. I said, and I told him before, I said, look, if you don't show up, I'm going to have to let you go, man, because I need you on Thanksgiving. And he wanted the shifts, and he didn't show up. And it just, anyway, I'll never forget crossing them off for future. We had this little paper that you could, anyway, I remember crossing him off for future shifts. And turned out his brother went, this guy roommate went to his house the next day to see what happened to him. And he had died with a heroin overdose overnight. And he was sitting on his basically he was leaning up against his fridge in his kitchen with a heroin needle in his arm, and rigor mortis has set in. And I just said, man, and the alcohol led him to go back to heroin addiction. It's crazy. And I just, they talk about gateway drugs and marijuana. Actually, the biggest gateway drug is alcohol. The funny thing is, many people can handle it. I couldn't. I mean, there's no such thing as one beer for me. I wanted to drink the whole damn. I didn't drink hard alcohol. I mean, a little bit, but not much. I like beer. I don't drink it, but I like beer. I like how it just gradually made you get drunk. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't all in one fell swoop, but I still like to be able to maintain control. I like beer, man. I had a lot of fun drinking beer. We had blast. 95% of the time it was just freaking fun. Is a 5% of the time that's all it takes though. And like my wife has a friend from high school days who lives out here in Georgia, whose daughter got hit and killed just right before Christmas last year in 2023. And she just posted on her Facebook that she would have graduated yesterday. And just some guy drinking and driving. I'm sure it wasn't the first time he drove drunk or anything, but he just happened to go through an intersection where these people were walking, hit this girl head on, and she died. And we went to the funeral. Just she's only 17, 18 years old and getting ready to graduate high school. And yeah, dude, it was. I mean, look, I'm not gonna deny it at all. I loved it. I loved drinking beer. I very much enjoyed it. I had fun. Party, and it just allowed you to be a person you weren't normally. It just allowed you to talk to girls. It allowed you to tell a joke that you might otherwise be, I'm not sure anyone's gonna laugh. Just allowed you to do stuff, dude. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, 100%. In fact, my brother has said, I always love what my brother said. He said that after 3 beers he would never drive home. But after 6, he said, I'm good, man. I'm good. I said, I always thought that was, Barney Gumble, 100%. I had extreme addiction to oxycodone for a while. That stuff is no joke. Extremely hard to quit. I can't imagine these guys. Who are, drinking, not drinking, but taking like cocaine. I was listening to my man Finn McKinty from the Punk Rock NBA the other day talk about his addiction to coke and like how when you come down, you're so down. I can't, at least with alcohol, it wasn't like that, at least for me. But he said you're so down when you come down from cocaine. Like it's like literally miserable. You just want to kill yourself. It was like literally just like I can't. I was never a guy. I had a friend of mine who was in the Army who also died from an overdose not too long ago. But I remember we'd get so drunk at night that he'd wake up in the morning just hungover. The first thing he'd do is crack open a beer. I could never do that. The son of my husband's best friend. I can't imagine Josh not being talkative. Well, as you the thing is, let me read what Angie says. The son of my husband's best friend lost his 17-year-old son to fentanyl last year. Damn. I can't. Ended up shooting himself when he found out. So 3 teenagers. Oh my goodness. So the son died from a fentanyl overdose 2 days after. Okay. His best friend also passed away from the same thing, and the guy who sold it to him shot himself. Oh, dude, I tell you, I like beer, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I miss it. I don't sit there like, oh man, I need to get drunk. But I miss drinking beer, especially it was fun, dude. I mean, this is it was fun, like when you're young and you're dumb, you know what I'm saying? And it's the guys and a couple chicks, the sexual tension that's just all hanging around. You know what I'm saying? It's just it was fun. You know what I'm saying? And you have a couple beers and it's fun. It's a blast. I remember I used to cook crabs at the Chesapeake Crab House in the Georgia Ave on Silver Spring. And we'd bring these, whatever crabs were left over, we could take home, or maybe we couldn't. I can't remember, but I would take them home. And we just, be at my house because I just lived right down the street from this place. I'd walk home with these crabs, and some guys would bring beers, and we just sit at my dad was never around, so we'd just sit at my house. We'd drinking crabs, and just the guys and a couple chicks, like girlfriends stuff. It was freaking a blast, man. It was a blast, you know what I'm saying? And then, that's a scary thing. I remember one time, me and this guy, man, we're in Alexandria, Virginia, my dad lived in this apartment at this stage in Alexandria, Virginia, and I woke up the next day, had no clue where I parked the car. Literally no clue. My dad said, "I need the car. I got to go to work." I said, and I was like, I still halfway to probably my friends, two shits to the wind. I said, he goes, "Where's the car?" I said, "Man, I remember my dad had to go to work." He goes, "I need the car. I got to go to work." I said, and he woke me up probably 6:30 or something like that. And I probably only been home for 3 hours. And I said, out front, he goes, "No, it's not." I was like, I could not remember where I parked the car. I remember my dad I just was crazy. I remember I have 3 friends who died from respiratory arrest in their sleep. Ah, jeez. Uh, I, I like a beer with lunch when it's hot. Yeah, 100%, man. I love freaking drinking, especially eating crabs. I love it, man. Meth is no joke. I know someone at work who tried it once and his whole life fell apart within 6 months. Damn. The crazy thing is that a lot of people aren't affected by it. That's what's nuts, man. A lot of people aren't affected. You just don't know. That's the scary thing. You just don't know. I mean, drugs ruined my mom. She did in her hippie days in San Francisco. It's never the same. I mean, just always up and down. Sober and strong is the way to go, man. I loved drinking for about 10 years and wised up nearly 5 years ago on my own. One of the best decisions I ever made. Yeah, Trump's brother was a big Schweiler. Yeah, that's the thing too, dude. Getting man, I can't. How much money do we waste just drinking alcohol? Crazy. My buddy let's see here. My buddy got crabs and girls. Some people have addictive personalities. 100%. Absolutely, it's not just drugs, but 100%. That's it. And I do. Without question, I 100% have addictive personality. It's that's no joke. You know what I'm saying? So there's always something that's like, basically, this is saying to sound weird, but my addiction now is doing YouTube videos. Literally, I only did one today. I wanted to, and Saturday is kind of somewhat my research day. I don't take clients calls on Saturday or anything like that. So usually in the morning, I'm usually just reading a lot and stuff like that. And I'm always thinking, gotta do a video, gotta do a video, gotta do a video. So I did one. I said, "Oh man, I only did one today," and it's not gonna get very many views. I know that. And I just like, "Oh man, I gotta do another." That is my new addictive thing, which is in a way it's kind of creepy, but I make money from YouTube, so yeah, exactly. That's the thing with freaking beer and alcohol. So the best times I had while drunk, it's like Homer says. You know what Homer says, Cal? What does Homer say? Um, what does Homer say? Seems like it's an addiction season for perp. That's why it's called spirits. It's a spirit, man. Yeah, I used to smoke cigarettes. God, I was looking through some pictures. I was trying to find this one picture of me in the army. I can't find it. It's really make me mad. I saw some pictures of me in high school, just cigarette. Me and this girlfriend I had or something like that, just cigarettes hanging. I said, "Damn, dude. I mean, thank goodness I quit. Crazy." All right. A rich man is a healthy person, a healthy family. Money gives you freedom, not health. 100%. Absolutely. I just can't imagine. Some people, and a lot of people. Looks like Charlotte likes to date the bad boy. Well, she dated, believe it or not, she was in high school. She dated the quarterback of the state championship football team, and he was kind of a bad boy. And then she dated me. But the problem and that's why I was pointing out, to alcohol right here. To alcohol, the cause and solution to all of life's problems. 100%. 100%. People have got addicted to food. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, this isn't a joke, man. Imagine being a food addict, because you have to have food. You have to. And I remember we're watching some show or something like that. Some of these heavy ladies, food addicts. Get out of here, man. I just said, how horrible of a disease is that? And we can argue if it's the disease or not. I don't care. But I'm just like, you have to eat. If you don't eat, you're going to die. And if you're addicted to food, that'd be like saying, I'm addicted to alcohol, but I have to drink alcohol. It's crazy. Ugh. But the thing with Charlotte, though, Denise, is that that's what I say. So the adult children with alcoholics book that's talking about in that email I sent, what it says is that when you're growing up, you don't mature as quickly. And even though I was 4 years older than Charlotte, and I had 4 years in the army, I was still freaking, babe in sheep's clothing, by the time I went to college. I mean, when I look at these 18-year-old kids, these boys, I'm like, but Charlotte, because, basically Charlotte, her life was, she raised, I'm not going to say it's not this dramatic, but essentially there's her dad died when she was young. Her mom was very stressed raising the rest of the children, without any money. Her mom worked at Kmart. They had 9 kids, you know what I'm saying? In this tiny little house in Dale City, Virginia, and a kind of crappy neighborhood. And Charlotte basically became a mom to the other 3 who were underneath her. Charlotte was 6 out of 9, and she's always been this way, always been a caregiver, provider, whatnot, always has. So she had to kind of mature pretty quickly. One of the reasons I liked Charlotte was because she was freaking sexy as hell. Let me tell you, I was like, man, because she looked like she's Spanish. I've always loved the Spanish chicks. Just long legs, beautiful kind of tan skin, smoking hot. And man, and anyway, but she's also like these, even though I was still immature relative to my age, I was certainly more mature than these kids who were 18 years old in high school. I mean, just right out of high school. Even the girls, they're just kind of boring. I can't remember if I went on a date or something. I remember I was going out with, I can't remember. I was talking to this one, I forgot what it was. Talking to this one girl, I was just like, oh, and I can't really, I just remember I was like so bored. I was like, oh, I think she was cute too. I was just like, and I was just so bored. I was like, okay, I see you. Good talking to you. And then, anyway, long story short, so Charlotte, but she must have seen something in me that I could mature if I just got my crap together. And then after a while, I wasn't getting my crap together. So she's like, aloha, because aloha, as us Hawaiian natives know, that means hello and goodbye. And she dropped me like a freaking hot potato. And that's where I wrote my book, Return to Peaks Island. It's kind of like my own memoir. Like, I'll never forget, man, when she said, yeah, you told me you're going to quit drinking. You didn't quit drinking. I went up to a show in Boston and I got drunk as a skunk. And she goes, you said you're going to be sober. You're not sober. So basically F off. I don't want anything to do with you because when you're sober, I can't rely on you and I need to rely on somebody. And you suck. And I said, remember that when I got back to DC, I'll never forget doing the dishes one day on a Saturday morning. I'd quit drinking by then. I said, I'm quitting. No matter what happens, I'm quitting. And I was like, Charlotte dumped me, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, dude, this freaking sucks. And then I'll never forget, I was listening to the radio. I was washing dishes because I just lived by myself at this point. So I had to remove myself from all my friends. That's what you got to do. Remove yourself from all the people that encourage you to drink. So I removed myself, it's your responsibility, but it's just the people you've hung out with. You got to remove yourself from that or else you get a challenge. It's going to be a challenge to go back. Anyway, I turned on a song, Goo Goo Dolls, what was it called? Foo Fighters, Goo Goo Dolls or something like that. I forgot what it's called. Irene or Iris or something like that. Dude, I was like, and I didn't cry or anything, but I was like, oh, I was like, dude, you had you had this freaking smoking hot lady. We knew we wanted kids. It was all good. And you freaking idiot. Oh man. And then, anyway, I guess she had, I don't know if her mom talked her into like letting me have a second chance, actually a 10th chance or not, but I guess she somehow I can't remember how we started talking again, but thank God, man. I just it would have been bad anyway. So and here we are 25 years later and 4 kids later, whatnot, and I've been perfect. And another thing I think about I guess for me, because I also got a temper. That's a problem. That's why I take Lexapro. As much as I hate big pharma, Lexapro. I'll never forget. I met this guy named Brett when I was working, and even when I was at USA, this guy was not Brett, but this other guy was giving me a hard time. And I said he's a bigger guy than me. But I was bigger in terms of bigger, taller, and wider. But I was certainly quicker and stronger. And I was like, why are you giving me a hard time? It's weird. And I was able to avoid like a confrontation with this guy. And we're sitting around this conference room. He's like essentially like picking on me. It's strange. And I was like, and the reason was this guy moved down from New Jersey to kind of take a leadership role in this office in Atlanta. And he felt he was slighted. And I said, dude, I get it, man. But this kind of what you're doing here is you're like literally in my face. You're challenging me. And I don't like that, you know what I'm saying? And anyway, long story short, because I could have whooped him. He was bigger than me, but he was slow and he was stupid. And anyway, so I remember I walked out of the conference room. I walked outside. He followed me, and I was walking away from him. I was, because I was like, I told my boss came. I said, dude, you gotta get this guy off me, because I'm starting to get pissed off. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, so I was walking. This guy was like following me, and I was like this close to just turn around and freaking knocking the crap out of him, because I was like, dude, you're treading on thin ice here, and I don't like. I got a temper, man, and a temper and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and I didn't do that, and I felt so good, but I was so pissed. I was like, man. And this guy came up to me and goes, dude, you need to get on the Lexapro. I said, what's that? He goes, that's what I do, because he has a temper like me. He's a poor boy, just like I am, and always had something to prove. And he said, trust me, it'll make you so when these kind of confrontations happen, you'll just learn to laugh at it instead of just allowing it to get to you. And I said, all right. So I took Lexapro, and man, I was like, I don't want to take some drugs that make me just like, hey man, hippie stuff. I don't want that. I want something that takes just enough of the edge off, so I don't want to always put up my fist whenever I'm being confronted with something. He said, that's exactly what it does. And I took it. I said, man, and I've been taking it ever since. I got off it for a couple months, and I didn't like it. I didn't like getting off it. I was a little bit quick on the trigger, just getting things irking me with my kids. And again, I don't scream or anything. I don't punch and nothing like that. But just like not as just a little bit too quick to be, I just whatever. And anyway, so I got back on it. I'm glad. So kudos to Big Pharma for that. Everything else you guys do sucks, but kudos to Big Pharma for Lexapro. I'm glad I did that. And I, because if I was drinking, the problem was, like I said, 95% of the time, I was freaking fine. I was a happy drunk, but at 5% of the time, dude, I can't imagine in front of your kids being drunk. I just my dad used to beat the shit out of me, pardon my French. And he'd do it, I'm sure, only when he was drunk. And I don't know why, but I'm sure just because I got my temper from him. It's an Irishman's temper. I'm sure that was his way of dealing with whatever anxiety was running at you, and just throw me across the. I mean, it's horrible. It's child abuse. No other way around that. Should have probably gone to jail, but it was just like, I'm sure that was his way of just losing his temper, and taking out on me. And I he's dead now. There's nothing I could do about it, but. I remember like it was yesterday, just getting like thrown into walls and stuff. And just, when that stuff happens, you learn from, that's the chain, the cycle. You got to break the cycle somehow. And for me, I had to do it from getting off alcohol, but then I had to do it too, just being a dry drunk, where you have a natural, a temper that you got to deal with. And one of the ways you deal with it is, frankly, is you ask for God to give you serenity, but sometimes there is somewhat of a chemical thing in there that just makes you want to use your old school sense of, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And I don't, when you're a grown man, you can't be doing that. Stupid. Angie says, what's on it? It's on Amazon. Angie says, thank God I've never had addiction problems. Always too scared of what. Yeah, that's one of the best things that, Angie, you smoked? Oh, man. That's one of the best things about my mom telling me her stories about doing drugs, is that scared the hell out of me, man. I used to get scared. I said, dude, I used to smoke some marijuana and stuff. I never did anything. I never did acid, because my mom said when she did acid, it scared me. I said, I'm not doing that. And I said, no way. But I didn't like marijuana. It didn't do anything for me. But let's see. We had the best pizza tonight in Village Inn. I absolutely bought him 6 pieces. That's at least 3 slices too many. 100%, man. Yeah, you gotta. I used to smoke Newports. Driving 4 hours on the highway, middle of the night, minus 30 degrees. Not remember a thing. Stop my drink. Oh, that's crazy, man. I've been on prescribed opioids for over 20 years. Was on OxyContin. There's no high from meds when you have true pain, but pain medications have long-term effects. And that's the thing too with opioids. They actually help many people. Hell of a lot more people get helped by opioids than are abusing them. That's one of the things that's so, like, when Congress regulates this stuff, because the media narratives of everyone dying from freaking whatever, but there's vastly more people that are benefit from this stuff. It's just so many people benefit from opioids. It's just a fact. I mean, there's a black guy, I don't think Princeton, Dr. Carl can't remember his last name, Dr. Carl somebody, and he does all kinds of drugs. He goes, no, they say, what's the key? Make sure you're doing it with people you trust. If you do it with people you don't trust, you're going to have bad trips, bad experiences. I'm not saying you should do drugs, not in the least. But he says, he does heroin, he does all that stuff. He goes, and again, maybe he's a whack guy, I don't know. But he's like, dude, for me, it benefits me. And again, I find that crazy. But people say, well, how about a bad, because he goes, I do it with people I trust, implicitly trust. I do not do it with people I don't know. I only do it with people I trust. I'll work out again on Monday. So how come you're not going to work out tomorrow? Yeah, dude, 100%. Yeah, but the problem is you can't see. This is the thing, though. Celtics. I say Celtic. I used to say Celtic Frost. There's a band out of Sweden, I think, a thrash metal band called Celtic Frost. And I heard them introduced when I was working out. I was watching a video from them from San Diego from 1986, and the guy says Celtic Frost. I said, no, it's always been Celtic to me. But anyway, young vets medicate themselves with alcohol, deal with PTSD. We need to do a better job of helping these people. The problem, though, is that some of these guys, they can't help. That's the thing with AA. You got to be there on your own accord. You can't help people who don't want to be helped. It's just that simple. I broke up with my now husband too because I thought he was too wild. Yeah, 100%. And just think, Angie, if you would have broken up with him and never got back to him, he would be in the gutter right now. Everyone thinks they're a tough guy to get. I used to think so. I mean, I remember I've been in a million fights. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one time when I was young, 7th grade or something like that. There's this a new kid on the island named Tom Dent. And it's Halloween. I must have been 6th grade. Yeah, 6th grade. And for some reason, I had this need to like impress my friends. I was weird. I don't know why. And it was Halloween night, and I broke an egg over his head. And he goes, "Why'd you do that?" I said, and I remember I was such a freaking idiot. And I just said, "Well, you want to do something?" He goes, "Well, not now. I got to go home. But how about tomorrow after school?" I said, "All right, tomorrow after school." So we had to take a boat back to Peaks from Portland. And on the boat back, it was everyone's all ready to rock and roll. There was excitement of us fighting in the parking lot on Peaks Island. And like an idiot, I led with my chin, and he just caught me. He just gave me a straight jab, hit me. I was bleeding everywhere. I was pissed. I didn't set me down or anything, but I was bleeding everywhere, and I went after him. But he caught me again because I was just leading my chin. Can't do that. I was still fired up. Like, let's go. But then they broke it, and the cops came and broke it up, and I looked like I had lost, and I did because I had blood everywhere. He didn't have any blood. But I was still ready to rock and roll, and I'd just get pissed by that point. But but I thought I was a tough guy, and how quickly I found, as Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan so they get hit in the face. I said, "Yep." I remember when I was even in the Army. This black kid was a young guy was up to no good, and I was charged at quarters. I was head of CQ, which meant you got to make sure that the barracks are being under control and whatnot. And this black kid was being just a freaking monster. I said, "Dude, you just stop, man. You just stop." I can't remember what he was doing, but he was just being an idiot. I said, "Just stop." He goes, "Oh, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it?" So I said, "What?" I was like, "Just go back to your freaking room and work it, because obviously he's drunk as a skunk." Anyway, he said, "What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? Do you want to go here?" I said, "All right, well, let's do this." Because again, when I was a young kid, my first thought was always, "Let's just fight." As an idiot, and then and again, I ran. I got up, and then he just freaking did a old-fashioned wrestling takedown on me, and he jumped off me. He could have probably whipped me up right there, and I got up again, and then and I remember chasing around this desk. But it's like, long story short, then I got broken up because I said, I just remember, I said, "What am I doing?" I said, "What are you doing?" Again, the people who think they're tough guys are always the one who leads with their fist, and you can't do that. Stupid. Yeah, exactly. I thought, man, it's funny you said that, fun guy. I thought the same thing. Lots of people training jiu-jitsu today. You got to be careful. 100%, man. 100%. In fact, going back to Finn McKenzie, the punk rock NBA. For some reason, a lot of people hate that guy. I think he's funny as hell, and he's a good guy. He's a good man, and he just gets so much hate on the punk rock NBA podcast and the Reddit trolls and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, he's like a well-trained jiu-jitsu fighter. And I didn't know that. But he said, this one guy was doing an interview and he said, "Are you worried about, that you might see some of these haters out there in the real world?" He goes, "No." He goes, "Why?" He goes, "Because I can take them." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Look, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 10 years. I'm good at it and I know what I'm doing." I said, "Wow." I never thought he'd be like doing that because he doesn't look very stout or anything. But he said, he goes, "I'm not worried at all." He's got, because I know I can take him. I thought that's pretty interesting. Yeah, 100%. Heavy lifting will chill you. I could not agree more, dude. Just getting some exercise in your lungs, putting up hard weights, little heavy weights, that will 100%. I could not agree more. It's called the Irish curse. Yep, been there now. Yeah, exactly. The best way to win a fight is to avoid it at all costs. Yeah, 100%. And an Asian guy's telling us that. So if an Asian guy's telling us that, we know that's the fact. Um, Thomas Gabriel Warrior. I don't know who that is. It sounds like he might like the fellas. We all have our own problems about how we handle them. Yep. I don't react well to opioids because it causes a same itch. I just take them long enough to after surgery give me a Tylenol. Yeah. Yeah, getting in a fight as a kid, different as an adult. Reminds me of stories where people get in a fight and one guy actually fought. Yeah, well, man, 100%. Dude, 100%, man. You hear this all the time. Especially when some guy gets cold clocked and then he hits his head on the turf or on the curb. Oh, dude, that's horrible. Isn't DA doing some research around microdosing, whatever that is, magic mushrooms? So I think there's some. I hate to even say this. I'm gonna sound like Joe Rogan because I can't stand Joe Rogan. I think there is something maybe to be said about microdosing. Again, Carl, what the hell is his name? Carl Roberts. I don't think it's that, but um, all right. Joining out from Indian Pass. TGW equals Celtic Frost. I don't know what TGW is. Oh, the war. Oh, there you go. That's this. Oh, that yes, yes. Oh, there you go. Man. Yes, 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 yes. Celtic Frost. Oh my. What's that? All right. So what I want to talk about now, if you all have any questions or anything, by all means, put them in caps down there. All right. So we got, look at my Twitter profile. All right. We got 10 people supposedly on Twitter, 85 on the main YouTube channel, 20 on the other YouTube channel. No one on Facebook. What the hell? How can you not be on Facebook? Anyone out there? Cray. I was going to say something else about something. Just remember though, before we get started on this article, I want to read. Hold on just a second. Mikey, he likes it. I guess I'm not going to see it. Anyway, some guy posted right here. I was going to show you this. This is how insane. Hey, Marsh. This is how insane. As money approaches capitalism as freedom aside, I wish all non-essential businesses were shut down. It's a small price to honor those who make their way of life possible. Thanks, James. I don't care what they say, James. You're all right. I was going to show you this. So this is how insane some white people were during the George Floyd riots. Here is speaking of mixed martial arts. Here's a throwback. Jake Shields. Here's a throwback of white people apologizing and washing the feet of blacks. All these pathetic whites should be arrested and deported to Africa. 100%. This was so freaking stupid. I mean, the idea of I'm gonna wash this. Oh my! How stupid were white people? And look, it's liberal white people, I grant you, but my goodness. Oh, and then right here, here's what Joe Biden says about George Floyd. Hold on a second. George Floyd should be alive. He deserves so much more. Did he, Joe Biden? Because his death was self-inflicted. That's just a fact. Today, I join all those who loved him and all those touched by the civil rights movement he inspired in remembering the tragedy and justice of his death. He changed the world. Now let's act in his memory. Dude, this is so freaking stupid. Please, for the love, I hope the Democrats run on George Floyd. Please. It's so stupid. Everybody knows it's stupid. It's such a con shared on the insanity. Who is the other guy? James Blake or something like that. Remember, right after George Floyd, there's a guy out of Cincinnati or Cleveland, like put a knife. Maybe it was George Floyd, but he put a knife to like the pregnant girl. Freaking, oh my goodness. It's funny though. I'm from Texas. My high school, yeah, we had fights all the time too. Now there's hardly ever any fights. It's crazy, man. It's honestly silliness from both sides. Crazy. Yeah. It was Kevin. Kevin's in the house. Oh yeah, no, I know Biden's handler's right, but just the fact that some white liberal would write such a thing is just so stupid. I mean, it's just so embarrassing, man. Young Irish temper. That was me as a teen. 4 older brothers used to beat the tar of each other. Dad would just laugh. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, see, my own thing was because I basically had to raise my brother and sister for a while. Because when my dad left, my mom was, gone essentially in terms of you never knew what it was going to be. The rocky road to Dublin, essentially, and it's just me. And so, as a young boy, you just, I mean, you're always on defensive mechanism. I guess that's what it is. You're always on, who's out to get us? What are they going to do? It's just you're always on the defense, man. And it sucks to be always on the defense. You don't want to do that. You want to be on the. I'm not saying be on the offense like freaking punch people. I'm just saying be on the offense to make your life better. And it takes a long time to get that stage, especially when you drink a lot. Yeah, what I'm saying. George was a complete psyop. Remember, what was her name? Waylon Sexton. Let's look at Wayno Sexton. I'm just gonna look her up. This is the funniest thing ever. I tell you. I think I talked about this. I talked about Wayno Sexton. Yeah, right here, dude. This is so funny. Right here. Oh my goodness, this is so funny. Wayno Sexton, and she's completely a crisis actor. So let me show you this. Oh my goodness. Right here. Wayno Sexton. George Floyd's second grade teacher remembers a happy boy with big dreams. Perry Floyd, future famous American. When I grow up, I want to be a Supreme Court judge. This way he said in second grade. When people say, Your Honor, he did rob the bank, I will say, be seated. And if he doesn't, I will tell the guard to take him out then. I'll beat my hammer on the desk and everybody will be quiet. And there's George Floyd on the desk of the Supreme Court. Now, remember, this is when George Floyd was in second grade. His teacher, Wayno Sexton, said she remembers an 8-year-old boy inspired by the work and legacy of Thurgood Marshall. Yeah, okay. And let's see if they show a picture of her. Because, dude, it's so fake. It's mind-boggling how insanely fake this is. Yeah, there she is. Let me show you. There's George Floyd's. So there's no other information about Wayno Sexton other than this, and she happened to be kept George Floyd's second grade paper. That little thing, bull freaking crap. And the funny thing is, they got right here. What other? So this is George Floyd's former teacher. Let's see if it's still on Facebook on X here. She's like everywhere. This chick, it's crazy. I haven't seen this, so let's take a look. Hopefully, it's still up. The whole thing's such a freaking psyop, dude. It's nuts. So this is George Floyd's former teacher, Dr. Wayno Sexton. Which other crisis actors is she in? Terry, mother of Orlando shooting. Terry, mother of a California shooting. Victim of the Las Vegas shooting. All right. Dr. Wayno Sexton. Terry, mother of the Orlando shooting, California shooting, Las Vegas. How come we never found out what happened with Las Vegas, by the way? Isn't that kind of weird? Just kind of slept under the rug. We have no clue what happened to Las Vegas. Just, whatever. That's it. No one cares. That seems kind of weird to me. Just sweep it on the rug. Crazy. Yeah, exactly. Third grade must have messed him up bad. That's when he started. That's when he started doing meth. George Floyd was a scumbag. Man. There's no other way around it. Oh yeah, they're definitely thinking about making George Floyd a holiday. I mean, Biden, if he panders enough to blacks, that's what he thinks. And for some reason, he thinks blacks like George Floyd. I mean, it's just I don't get it. I guarantee if you had a true serum, I mean, just even poll blacks say, should we make a celebration out of George Floyd? I guarantee. I don't don't know. The majority, I hope, would say hell no. George Floyd, what the hell is that? But maybe they would. I don't know. I guarantee if you voted, I can guarantee you this: if you took 100 white people out of Harvard University and 100 just regular blacks from South Fulton County, who do you think would want to honor George Floyd more? 100 whites from Harvard or 100 blacks from South Fulton County? I guarantee the 100 whites from Harvard. You see what I'm saying? I guarantee more than the blacks would. Guarantee. I'd be willing to take that bet 100 times over, because the white liberals are what runs the show, and they all suck, dude. And they're horrible, horrible, horrible. It's like the white liberals and the Lindsey Grahams of the world. It's crazy. This is why I can't get caught up in this, man. If you get the day off of pay, I support a George Floyd day. Yeah, but what if your business has to pay? Your owner, and your owner's like, I'm not making any money. I still got to pay you? You see what I'm saying? I mean, how many business owners can afford that? Whites are the worst. Liberal whites are literally the worst because they're just so dumb. And they're just playing this role like, oh, look at me. My best friend's black. I was actually listening to an episode of Jimmy Dore today. He's talking about this one Jewish guy at Harvard saying, basically, he went before Congress and he's basically saying, oh, we're all under attack. We're going to die, blah, blah, blah. And then another Jewish guy from Columbia saying that's just not right. They're not under attack. I don't know what they got. Anyway, it's very interesting. It's a very well scripted presentation that the Jewish guy from Harvard said to the Congress. Very well scripted, very good, crisis drama stuff. And then some guy said, he was criticizing the guy from Harvard, but he said, look, my girlfriend's Jewish. And I was like, how can we always do this? How can we always? It's okay to criticize Jewish people. It's okay to criticize Catholics. It's okay to criticize Pulverizer. We should all be criticizing Pulverizer. Why do we always have to say, my best friend's black? Pulverizer isn't as bad as what he pretends himself to be. We just don't qualify it to say it's okay to criticize a Jew. It's okay to criticize a Muslim. It's okay to criticize anybody. Oh, my best friend's black, but let me criticize blacks. Don't do that. I hate that, dude. It's crazy. Dude, 100%. Don't ever move to Minnesota. The liberal spots are it's insane. That's the thing. Like when I went through Maine, I saw these Black Lives Matter signs up there. It's like, oh, there's no blacks in Maine. There's no blacks, none. There's like none. There's literally maybe like two. I was like, it's just so. Oh my God! I'll never forget. I was on the Maine Facebook page, and this lady was like, I got to get out of Florida. They hate blacks in Florida. They're so racist. Blah blah blah. I said, and you're moving to Maine? How ironic is that? Because Maine, there ain't no blacks. So you love blacks so much. Why are you moving from Florida, where they hate blacks, but according to you, to Maine, where there ain't no? Which one's the racist? And then I said, it sounds like you got some issues against black people. If you want to escape Florida to move to Maine. She goes, no, that's not true. She took the fence. It was great. It made me feel so good. I said, man, lady, sounds like you got some real issues against black people that you want to get out of the South. And she's like, ah. Yeah, I don't like Jimmy Dore's the guy on his my best friend's pulverizers out of crime. It kind of is. It kind of is a criminal activity there. I'm going to call it the DOJ. He has a couple of sidekicks. I think they make his show worse. I don't know that one guy just like, dude, shut up. It's just not funny. It's weird. I don't get it. His sidekick. I don't listen to him that much, but every now and again I'll see. I mean, he splits up his podcast pretty good, and I like that. So, Mainers don't hate blacks because I'm just YouTube. I'm just reading what the comments say. That's why this stream will self-destruct. I don't know who Jimmy Dore's wife is. If she's like Bill Burr's wife, very annoying. And I don't listen to Bill Burr anymore. I used to like Bill Burr a lot, actually, until he started being a vax hole. It's like, they're not wearing the mask. I said, oh, Bill Burr. You going to go watch the game? You done working out? Oh, yeah, what is it? I'm saying Pacers up by 11 right now is my prediction.
Celtics up by 9.
What quarter?
5 minutes left in the first. 24 to 15.
if you think there's no blacks in Maine, you should go visit Portland, Oregon. Is there no blacks in Portland, Oregon? I bet there's not, because that's why they're all liberal like that. It's crazy. Yeah, dude, the Luka freaking shot last night was nuts, dude. And did you see the Jaylen Brown shot too? That Luka, Stephen A. Smith's like, I think we should have made Jalen Brunson the All NBA team and not Luka. I was like, dude, you're an idiot. All right, so anyway, before I get off track, you guys really get me off track. I want to share with you this. I did a video on it earlier today, but life expectancy methodology. All right, so we're just going to cut to the chase. We're chase cutters. All right, we're cut to the chase. Do you have high blood pressure? All right, projected life expectancy for a 65-year-old based on sex and health. If you have high blood pressure, if you're 65-year-old today and you're a man, your life expectancy is 86. That means a 21-year retirement if you have high blood pressure. If you have diabetes and you're a man, your expected life expectancy is 79. And I say get on the carnivore diet ASAP. If you have diabetes and you're 65 years old, your expected life expectancy is less than that of a tobacco user. A tobacco user's life expectancy is 81. If you have diabetes, and 30% of retirees have diabetes. I mean, do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear this? If you have diabetes, and 30% of the 30% of Americans, 30% of people over 65, I think is what it said, have diabetes. And if you do, and you have a lower life expectancy than someone who smokes a carton of Cools a day. All right, just put that in your peace pipe and smoke it. Isn't that nuts? If you're obese, and the BMI for obesity was BMI 35 to 39. Over 35 BMI. If you're obese, your life expectancy as a man is 83. Basically, just add 2 years for the ladies out there. The 2 years for the ladies. If you have Parkinson's, your life expectancy is 20 years. That's 65 years old. Right? And now, be advised, only 5% of the population over the age of 60 has no chronic conditions. Only 5%. All right, your life expectancy, if you're over the age of 60, 65, and you have no chronic conditions, your life expectancy is 90 if you're a lady, that's 25 years, 88 if you're a man, that's 23 years. It just says diabetes, Tom. It doesn't say treated or untreated, it just says diabetes. So, we got, if you're 60 years old, only 5% of the population over the age of 60 has no chronic conditions. In fact, I think I've got high blood pressure. I haven't looked for a little bit, but I went to the doc and she goes, here's all these statins. I said, I'm freaking out of here, lady. I'm not touching your crap, because I know there are some issues with statins. Something will get you in the end, 100%, Andrew, but the issue is something will get you in the end. But if you're freaking working your ass off because you're going to live to your 95, never mind the 90, never mind 95, you're a mistake. It's crazy. Again, 5% of the population at 60 has no chronic conditions. If you have cancer, your life expectancy is 82 if you're male, 82 if you're a woman. High cholesterol, 85 if you're male, 87 if you're a woman. And I'm not worried at all about cholesterol. I think it's all fake, but still. But I don't want to. So we should have Josh around for another 17 years. I'd be 70 years old then. If I knew I was going to die at 70, I would take. I don't know when I take social. I would still take it late. I have no problems. I'm 70. There's Scott, Texas. That's a pretty cool avatar. I've had annual figures the last 20 years, no problems. I'm saying, yeah. So your life expectancy would probably be 90 years old, 88 to 90 years old. I'll stick around to see Josh the PVC pipe after 70. Let's hope. People on Staten Island seem to be all right. What does it say? The rim shot. I don't get it. Well, I don't get why you're saying rim shot. I'm not following that. I don't get it. I had high cholesterol. I was able to control by changing up my diet to low. A lot of plant-based eating stuff, ribeye every once in a while. Well, that's your problem. You only have ribeye. Oh, speaking of which, where's Tom? Where's Tom? Right here. I just saw today. Well, you don't have Publix up there. If you're back in Florida, Tom, you got Publix. Publix has $8.99 choice cut ribeye on sale, Publix, $8.99. I posted because Tom was telling me about. I'm gonna get something to drink. Ow. Tom was telling me about ribeye that he got from Giant or something. I forgot what it was. And I saw they had something in Kroger for $9.99, and then I saw something in Publix for $8.99. By the way, I still got beers in my fridge. I have no desire to drink these at all, none whatsoever. I have none. It just doesn't sit there like, oh, I got to drink some beer. No, because the only time I want to drink beer is I'm hanging around with the fellas and there's a couple of ladies around. Then I'd be like, yeah, let's drink some beer, have fun. But I mean, I'm a married old man now. It's kind of silly for a married old man to say, let's drink some beers, ladies. I can't imagine like going to a bar, like trying to. I mean, look, it's cool. I got no problem people do that. I just can't imagine being like a 53-year-old guy going to a bar. I'm glad they got the internet. I'm glad people can meet people on the internet. I think it's pretty cool. I was talking to a guy not too long ago. He met his wife. His wife's Filipino, and they met on the internet. And she's freaking just he's quite a bit older than she, but his first wife died. He's lonely. And she needs some financial. She's poor. He's lonely. They're both Christian. I think they're Catholic. She's definitely Catholic. I think he was too. And they just fell. They fell in love. What's wrong with that, man? And boo, she's going to the Philippines, being a young girl. And she's 30, but she's pretty. And more power to him. Being lonely sucks. You don't want to be lonely. Right there, dude. Look at Marsh. This is not beer. Trust me, guys. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do caffeine. I'm straight edge as far as the eye can see. All right, I am. I don't do anything. So when people say you get lay off the whatever they say, because I'm pretty hyper as it is. Actually, it's funny talking to my man Finn. I said, how did you about cocaine? I said, man, I'm pretty hyper because, dude, cocaine would have killed you because I'm so hyper. He goes, heroin would have been my thing because heroin, I guess, really calms you down. But cocaine really fires you up because you're so hyper, cocaine would have killed you. Here's Marsh. My next door neighbor's an ER doc, and most patients are diabetes or hypertensive. Yeah, a lot of them don't even know. 100%, man. But yeah, they're going to make financial plans so they're 95. Yeah. My dad, he died last year in 2023. He was 76. Yeah, in his last 2 years of life, probably about 5 years of life, 4 years of life, something. And again, I don't have a relationship with this through my brother and my sister, but weren't good. And, so I kind of agree with that Celtic spirit. I kind of agree. It's like, that's why you got fun while you got the chance, dude. You're not going to have it. You're just not going to have it anymore. Let me know if the stream is going, like, if it's whatever it is, percolating, whatever. You just don't. Some guy posted, who was it? Some guy who like challenges me on occasion. He's a good guy. I can't remember who it was. So Thomas, I can't remember. But anyway, he said they serve it. What did he say? He said he was a ER. No, he was like a nurse in an ER room or something like that. I can't remember. And he said, yeah, people, what was he saying? Like, I can't remember what it was. He basically challenging the idea that people, like, they never regret working on their deathbed. They never, I can't remember what it was, but it's like everyone I talked to said they wish they would have not worked longer, but saved more or something like that. I think is what he said. I said, I don't know about that. Oops. Dude, I'm telling you, man, don't look. I'm not a doc. That shouldn't mean anything. But be that as it may, I would revisit your thoughts about cholesterol. I really would. That's okay. Statins are not good for the liver. Crazy. I didn't know that. My man Grapevine, or whatever his name is, Dr. Grapevine or Grapevine, I can't remember his name, but he had written a book about Lipitor, the memory thief. It's crazy. Yeah, high blood pressure. I think that is an issue right there for sure. I think I posted this. I can't remember if I did a video on it or not, but living by the water actually reduces your blood pressure, your heart rate, and your blood pressure. It's not just the ocean, by the way. It's just a body of water has a calming effect on you. Isn't that crazy? They've done a study on that. I thought it was pretty cool. And They actually they did blood pressure tests and heart rate tests on, I think it's college students or whatnot. They'd take a walk and then they'd look at a body of water, and then they'd also take a walk. Another group would take a walk and look at just a prairie or a green grass field or something like that. And then one would then the switch mount, look at a body of water, look at like a parking lot, and your blood pressure and your heart rate were lower for the people who looked at the body of water. And it wasn't like, oh, maybe they just had better health now, because they random like that. It's very interesting. 75% of Josh's views will not live past 75, no matter health. Way my government funding to verify my study. Dude, totally. They just push these things on everybody. It's crazy. I don't know, man. They don't say that in here. They just say diabetes. So they don't clarify if it's controlled or not. I would bet even controlled diabetes, you have a lower life expectancy than someone that has no diabetes. Yeah, that's what it is right now. But yeah, maybe it was you saying that. Bone and ribeye roast. Yeah, someone said that. Maybe it was you, Jamie. I remember because I did get some bone and ribeyes when they were on sale last time at Publix, and I said, "Man, I got 25 years." Well, my granddad died probably 83. My dad died at 76. You know what I'm saying? I never met my dad's dad, so I'm not sure how long he was. So I'm not sure how long I have on this flat Earth. I got laid off with severance. I already had an emergency fund for 6 months. Should I invest all or DCA over a few months? I already had an emergency fund. Oh, in terms of like your retirement plan, that's a tough one, man. That is a tough one. Yeah, I can't answer that. That's tough. Irish dudes tend not to live long. Don't know if it's the drinking or bad genes. Yeah, what I'm saying. Yeah, whatever's on sale, I get. There's being alone versus being lonely. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, fun guy. That's just a tough one. I mean, just because they're an all-time high, I mean, hell, they've been at all-time highs throughout histoire. So it's kind of like, what. I guess the way I look at it, if you're already in the markets with your plan, I mean, and you already have an emergency fund, I don't know if he's got enough cash to live on or not. I don't know, but if you already got enough money, if you're already in the market before, again, it depends. And so many things to think on that. I don't know. Angie says, I met an old gypsy in Hungary when I was 17. She told me a bunch of things that are true. Another thing she told me is I'd live till 76. Wow. What'd she tell you that ended up true? Yeah, right on, John. And there's Tom's dad was 76 when he died. Yeah, dude, I love me too. I love sweets, James. I love sweets. My dad was 90 in September. Wow. Drive for 12 years, retired early and hoping the plans. Baklava. I don't like that Greek stuff. But James is Greek. I mean, a palace. I mean, can't get much more Greek than that. Actually, you'll get a kick out of this, James. The place where I used to cook crabs was owned by two Greeks. And they had baklava. I never heard baklava. And it looked kind of weird to me, but I tried one. I was like, damn, that was good, man. Not my cup of tea that much, but two Greeks who owned, again, a typical American freaking immigrant story. These guys came over, couldn't speak a damn lick of English. They opened a restaurant. I mean, did what they probably worked on the boats in Chesapeake Bay fishing for crabs. They said, we can do it. They opened a restaurant in Silver Spring, Maryland, and they freaking Sugar Ray Leonard used to come in, and it's crazy. I mean, two Greek guys. I'll never get those guys, actually. They actually thought there's some rumors that it was a mafioso kind of thing. I don't know, a Greek mob or something. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know why that was the rumor, but that's what it was. Well, it's actually just I agree with that, but it's just seeing the water, a thing of water, a lake, a river. Obviously, ocean would be better because it's bigger for sure. 6'10" Boney, look at my man. 6 years ago, docs said lose 20 pounds or be on meds. I'm on meds and food is good. Yeah, but you can, and that's the thing, it's not mutually exclusive. You can eat food and not be on meds too. They're not mutually exclusive, these things. Had blood pressure of 204 once about 10 years ago, finally got off the fast food diet, more whole foods, and got much better. 100% correct. Mississippi is in my backyard. Doc is in. Water getting high, so it might bring up BP. Hey, Penelope. People can react pretty differently to different drugs. Probably not a good idea to generalize. Yeah, 100%. But that's what I do, Penelope. I have a generalization. Look at my man Andrew. He's on 40 milligrams of Lipitor and 10 of whatever that is. I mean, so seems like he's doing all right. You know what I'm saying? But that's not fun. Just generalize. Everyone named Penelope. Let's see. Everyone named Penelope is going bankrupt next day. That's not a very good one. Everyone named Penelope. I don't know what I was going to say. I don't have a good one there. I can't do it. I'm not very good. Yeah, 100%, man. We're just talking about this today with my kids and my wife about the advertisements are all for pharma. It's crazy. It's pharma, auto insurance companies, and freaking your local attorney. The ambulance chaser. Yeah, exactly. Markets might be at all-time high, but only a handful of stocks carrying the entire market. 100%. I completely agree. But that also means that those handful of stocks go kaput. You're going to get smashed. But if you're already in the market, you might as well just put the whole thing in. But the issue is this guy's just got severed, so he's going to need some money to live on. I don't know if he has enough to live on. We don't want him spending down money if the market's going down, obviously. So it really is too much going on to give any kind of specifics on that. Yeah, I can't tell you how many people I talk to that they just change up their diet. They no longer have diabetes. They're no longer all that stuff. It's crazy, man. I mean, all the time. Just changing my diet and I no longer take any other drugs. I all the time I hear that. It's nuts in a good way. You're not guaranteed tomorrow. You should plan for it. No one's saying don't plan. It's just the idea if I'm going to stay working for another 5 years. So let me show you what else this guy say. He says, these people. So, case study. We got these two lovely white ladies. How dare they? From New Hampshire. They wanted to get out of Florida where everybody's racist, but they moved to New Hampshire. They're Sarah and Melissa. They're projected to earn $135,000 annually by the time they retire at 65. All right. So right now they're both earning $100,000. They have $165,000 in retirement savings. They're both 55 years old, Sarah and Melissa. All right, so they're the elite of the elite. White girls in New Hampshire with glasses. Couldn't get much more elite. All right, so they're both 55 years old, making $100,000 a year. They both have $165,000 in retirement accounts right now. All right, they contribute $8,000 each. So by the time they're 65 is when they're going to start withdrawing. They're going to earn inflated dollars, $135,000. Using a 70%, so they need 100,000 in today's dollars. They need 70,000 in after retirement dollars. So your replacement rate essentially. They're saying they need 70% replacement rate. All right, so $100,000 while you're working is the equivalent of $70,000 when you retire. So they need a 70% replacement rate. Right. Let's see what we got. The projected Social Security benefit at projected Social Security benefit. That doesn't seem right. They got them with a projected at 65. Okay, with a projected Social Security benefit of $3,300 a month beginning at 65. It still seems low to me. And an annuity generates $1,000 a month. The additional income from 1 year retirement, they'll need about $41,000 a year. And again, this is a future dollar. This is confusing, but hang tight. Sarah has diabetes. Sarah's probably the one sitting down. She's like, I got diabetes. I can't get up. All right. Sarah has diabetes, which she manages at an average level. She takes steps to make. So I guess so Tom had asked if this isn't controlled or not controlled. Well, this says she manages it at an average level. She takes steps to maintain her health, but she could be doing better. Melissa, on the other hand, has no chronic health conditions. Neither use tobacco products. Sarah's actual life expectancy is 82, all right, because she manages her diabetes. And that's the one with diabetes. Melissa's is 90, all right? The difference in lifetime income for Sarah and Melissa would be this. Sarah, who's going to die at 90, at 82, has a lifetime retirement income need of 2 million schmackaroonies, right? To start her first year in retirement, she'll need $2 million. Melissa, on the other hand, because she has a life expectancy of 90, will need $3 million, basically 57% more. Because she's projected to live 8 years longer, Melissa would need to invest $82,000 more than Sarah to generate the income she needs to maintain her lifestyle until age 90. Pretty interesting. So again, it kind of shows you again. I would look at the other way around. I'd say, A, okay, we're quit earlier, I mean, or B, okay, invest less if I have debt to pay off and stuff like that. Angie says the Greek lady told her, or the gypsy told me she saw me sitting on the floor surrounded by kids. Ended up teaching for a while, which I never planned. Also about the surgery where they had to what? Whoa. Angie, you had a freaking surgery. You had to be brought back to life? I didn't know that. Also, the surgery where they had to bring it back to life. I do think there are some people who have a thing in the ether. I absolutely do. What's 100%. And again, like if you just look, man, we don't just look at a dog. A dog sees and hears and smells so much more than we do. There's so much more out there that we just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Dale Carnegie had a book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. Oh, pretty good. Yeah, I like Dale Carnegie. A lot of Greeks jumped ship and started downers in the Northeast. My dad was 93. The younger you become exactly. Yep. 100%. The younger you become diabetic, the harder on life expectancy. 100%. God, dude. ADA, they all get huge amounts of money from Big Pharma. It's crazy. Keep dyeing my hair. That's what I thought too. If they're a couple, apparently they're not a couple. So I was like, oh boy, here we go. Sarah and Melissa. Let me guess. Overweight lovers in the house. Clownfish. He says, pretty sure I need 275 years in retirement to live comfortably where I am. Yeah. But well, you got to come on, man. You got to tell us what the hell. So you literally, like, Denise died on the friggin', on the table. She died, and I can't remember what they did, but she's obviously not dead because she's here. Sarah and Melissa may like golf. Yes, they do, Cal. It's Mel. Does that's right, exactly. It's Melly Mel, and they like golf. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Oh my goodness, that's funny. I was going to show you guys something else here too. Oh yeah, I was going to do a video about this tomorrow. It's pretty interesting. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. So this about return. Why is it doing that? Why did it make it all big like that? Oh boy, I don't want it big like that. Why is it always? Hold on a second. Stop sharing. Man, don't make it all big. I don't want it all big like that. All right, there we go. Look at cute humor. Oh boy, cute. You don't ask a lady how old she is. Jeez. Oh boy. Angie looks like she's what? 30. 30 years old. Angie's like 30 years old. Angie hasn't had her first legal drink yet. All right. Let's see here. Who's your husband a firefighter, Angie? Angie, isn't your husband a firefighter? Women here are old, just saying. You're saying Penelope's old? How dare you? How dare you? Penelope would kick your ass, pulverizer. I would not fight Penelope if it came down to it. If they said we're gonna go in a freaking, the square circle, whatever the hell it's called, and it says you versus Penelope, I said I'm out. Just send me to the freaking lion's den because I guarantee Penelope could kick my ass, 100%. Penelope used to work like Medicare or Medicaid patients or something like that. Q Humor says I'm no Prince Charming, as if anyone thought you were. Q Humor, trust me, ain't no one here thought you were Prince Charming. All right. Next thing we're gonna hear says Pulverizer says my music tastes are good. No one thinks Pulverizer's music tastes are good. All right. One of the heads of BlackRock predicted a dire bond market. All right, so let's jump back to this. I mean, breaking news: Cute Humor isn't Prince Charming. What? No way! I thought Cute Humor would be a freaking what's that guy's name? Who's like the Brad Pitt or something like that? I don't get Brad Pitt. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Look, I mean, don't look at do anything to me. Of course, I like ladies. Also, I don't. The whole thing about Angela Jolene or whatever the hell chick's name is, I don't think she looks that good at all. Those big old fake lips. Like, what's the deal with like that? Ugh, I don't. It's freaking. I don't get it. All right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Jamie Dimon is retiring from J.P. Morgan. Yeah, I saw that too. Probably, and probably gonna be more crackdowns on banks too, Cal. I was given medication during childbirth that went in too deep and was too strong to start. Whoa. Yikes. That's crazy. Anyway, something I was thinking about. Well, let's get on this article here. Well, remind me that C-sections. If anyone wants to bring up C-sections. Because Angelina is old now. Yeah, she never did much to me, for me. I like that chick who's that chick's name from Party of Five, whatever her name was? Liv, something like that. Was that her name, Liv? Not like Steven Tyler's daughter, Liv, something like that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't follow golf. I just follow Jason Whitlock. He talked a little bit, and I don't follow golf because I like ladies. All right. I don't know what. Jamie Dimon. No, they already got a BlackRock guy to take over CEO. Yeah, Liv, whatever her name. What's her name? Liv something. I always like that kind of haircut like that. I don't know why. What's that chick's name? Liv Tyler. Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt. No, she's nasty. Neve Campbell. That's what Neve Campbell. Oh yeah, dude, she's freaking hot. I also like that chick, Jennifer Connelly, or whatever her name was. Oh man, smoking hot. Man, Jennifer Connelly, Neve Campbell. Who's that? Courtney something? The blonde head Courtney something? What was her name? Thiessen or something like that. She was always hot too. And then, did you all ever see the Norm Macdonald? Oh my goodness, dude! He was on with her and Conan. Norm was on with Courtney, whatever her name was, and Conan. Dude, it is like the funniest thing you'll ever. Norm was so fast. Ah, my goodness! Just in terms of coming up with jokes, you've got to you got to watch this. Look at Norm Macdonald with Courtney Thornton Smith. That was not Thiessen. I always thought it was Thiessen or something like that. Yeah, Selma Hayek was freaking smoking hot. Chairman of, yes, exactly. Chairman, dude, and he came up with that off the top of his head. Talking about the what was that guy's name? Cal, who's the the freaking the red haired guy? What the hell was that red haired guy's name? It was so funny, man. He's like Carrot Top. It's like, oh, what else? Then Conan said, so Norm makes a joke. Then Conan says, what else? We got to watch it, dude. It's just so funny, man. Courtney Thorne Smith. I don't think she looks that good anymore, though. I can't remember. I don't think she looks that good anymore, if memory serves. How about the woman? Yeah, but it goes without saying. Yeah, I don't like that big lip stuff. And then spray tans. What's that about? It's crazy. There's Penelope. Dude, oh my goodness. All right, we're going to watch. I don't care. I'll get it. We're going to watch that. It is too funny. Dude, it goes without saying, the woman I was married to, hell, I mean, no one's smoking harder than her. Come on. And she's like, we gotta watch this. Norm, Macdonald, Conan. Oh, right here. Oh my goodness, this is so freaking funny. Oh my, we gotta watch this whole thing. That Adam. Oh my goodness. I gotta turn up the volume. Wait, how do I do this here? Yeah, that's get past all this stuff.
You know, you saw her at Melrose Place. He said, no, I was watching Tom Snyder, and she was on, and she was a great guest. And I said, wait a minute, that's the show that's opposite our show. Why aren't you watching our show? Character can do, right?
I can't do any.
Everybody gets into a Zeppelin.
No, because I swear to God.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Zeppelin. All right.
Are you talking about Melrose Place? No, because
You're the biggest ass I ever met.
Yeah, watch that.
I love you for it.
No, because I swear to God, when I lived in LA, I lived on the actual street called Melrose Place. There's an actual street.
There's a Melrose. Is there really a Melrose
There's really
Place?
a Melrose
Melrose
Place.
Place.
You
All
know
right.
this, right?
Yes, it's true.
So they opened a restaurant called Melrose Place on it.
Uh-huh.
And then it's right beside my house. And every time I go out, there's all these like tourists. And then these tourists, like they're always fat and they're taking pictures standing in front of this restaurant.
Uh-huh. Yeah?
Watch. A few blockers.
Well, thanks for the help, pal. He'll get over it. You'll see. Now, I got to ask you about this because we brought... Shut up.
Stop hitting me.
That makes it all right. Well, I want to talk to you about something because this came up earlier in the show accidentally because I didn't know what Norm was going to talk about tonight. And oh, there it is again. Yeah.
Right there. All right, here
All
we go.
right.
That's it.
Okay.
Wait a minute, she left Melrose Place to do a movie with Carrot Top?
That's where I'm going, my friend. This begs the question now. Why a movie with Carrot Top?
Why a movie with Carrot Top?
I mean, no, I don't know much about Carrot Top. You know, I don't know much about it. Me first.
I will say.
You know, sort of the three. There's an order.
Extraordinarily sweet.
Nice too, right?
Not in the movie.
Oh, in the movie they took his props away.
They took his props away.
That's a bad time to suddenly take away everything you know about comedy. You know, you've been using props now all your life for comedy. Now we're going to take them away when you make your first movie. Was he okay, though, with it? He was cool?
He was great. He did a wonderful job.
Do you have a scene where you... Wow! I got to check out that movie.
Is it called 9.5 Seconds? Like he's premature ejaculator.
You know what happened?
What?
This is what happened. You know what happened? He said 9.5 seconds, and I'm looking at him because I know there's more. And I wait and wait, and I see the glimmer in the eye, and then bang! I thought you were going to, but no. But what's the movie going to be called?
Well,
Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
She's in it.
What about my career?
Courtney Thorne-Smith,
Oh.
the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for fun.
After you scare everybody else away?
No, I love this girl. I'd see any movie with this girl in it. She's a beautiful lady and a talented, nice talk show guest.
As evidenced by her appearance on our rival show.
Watch.
All right, well, there's this 2-hour season finale of Melrose Place.
Watch.
There's this movie coming out,
Yes.
title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Norm is, oh my, B-O-R-E-D. Oh, Jared on the board. How does he come up with that? Like B-O-R-E-D, like Conan like says, come up with something like that, you freak. And he does. Oh, that's, oh man. I know Norm died at 61. He like hid it from everybody too. It's crazy. Yeah, she was too. Yeah, she was freaking hot. And she had a great laugh, 100%. Oh, you saw the movie? Oh my goodness. What are you doing? Really? Just to see Courtney Love Smith, whatever her name is? Box office poison. 90s was the worst time. Dude, I hated the 90s. 100%. Could not agree more. All right, so we got a couple questions on here. Quinn Snyder, who apparently he's looking at leaving the Atlanta Hawks. Quinn Snyder is the coach of the Atlanta Hawks. Is it Quinn Snyder? I think it is. Is it okay to consider my pension my fixed income and invest all equities and no bonds? Ooh, I wouldn't. I mean, dude, how much cash you have? I mean, because you need money to live on. If your pension's covering all your expenses, yeah, I can call them that. I wouldn't do it because I think bonds have a place here, which I'll get to here in just a second if I can freaking stay focused. But if you're living off if your pension isn't covering all your income and you're living off some of your portfolio and your portfolio is all in stocks, I think that's a big mistake. It's just too aggressive for me. Now I'm very conservative kind of guy. I don't like losing. I can't stand losing. I can't stand losing you. Did you guys know that guy Stuart Copeland from the Police is like one of the best drummers of all time? I actually watched him being interviewed by Rick Beato, and it was just freaking great interview. It just seemed like that guy was just crushing. And I very much enjoyed that. I didn't realize that Stuart was such a good drummer. I don't know anything about drums. I don't know anything. I'm just a caveman. But that guy was a fun interview to listen to, and that guy just crushes. I'm working on my father's retirement account. I'm thinking 60-40 stock bond mix, rebalancing annually. Is this a good balance? Yeah, I like it. What I'm saying. Yeah, I got no issue with that, Andrew. None whatsoever. Theo Vaughn, yeah, what I'm saying. Is OJ? Yeah, he freaking destroyed OJ. It's funny. Yeah, now they're saying the guy from Tool, Danny Carey or Casey. Yeah, Norm was 100%. Norm was a loving the Lord, that's for sure. Norm was so good. All right, so I want to share with this. Yeah, I completely agree with Jackum Sin. All right, so we're going to look at this and we'll get out of here. All right. Just watch all Norm stuff. It's the channel is like not Norm or something like that. I do this just so I've watched some of his jokes a million times. I still laugh my butt off. It's crazy. All right, so let's go to this one right here. 3 reasons to consider a bond allocation. U.S. money market. Okay, right here. We believe intermediate high quality bonds may offer an important and compelling option for clients' longer term portfolio allocations, thanks to their historically elevated yields, longer duration profiles, and potentially negative return correlation with equities and other things right here. Yields are at a 16-year high, and if you look historically, my friends, there's like a 90 to 95% correlation in the next 5 to 10 years of a bond's return for what its current yield is. So if its current yield is 5, there's like a 90 to 95% correlation that you'll average about 5% a year for the next 5 to 10 years. It's just that simple. And as such, if you're getting a 5% rate of return on bonds, and let's say your portfolio, you want to get a 5% rate of return on your total portfolio, it'd be a good idea to have some bonds without question. Yield is not a good predictor for long-term money market accounts, what I'm saying, because that's changes all the time. Let's see. Looking ahead, we believe investors should consider the value of longer duration bonds. The value longer duration bonds may offer in the future environment marked by federal funds rate cuts beyond what the market has currently priced in. While cash offers limited upside, The aggregate index, the AG, I think it's AGG, I forgot what it's called, could generate intermediate-term total return in excess of today's yield. Duration has traditionally benefited from falling interest rates, which is what I've been saying for basically a year and a half now, which I still have long government bonds, zero coupon government bonds. I have no clue what they're doing. I don't pay any attention to this stuff. I really don't. So I have no clue what my EDV is doing. That's my zero coupon long-term bond. It's like a 30-year, literally 25 to 30-year zero coupon bond. It doesn't get much riskier in terms of volatility than that. But risky has a two-way street. What's risky on the downside is profitable on the upside. At some point, I would imagine I'd be rewarded. I don't know when, where, how, but we'll see. Well, the Fed has pledged higher for longer short-term rates. Should the economy fall into recession over the next year, they may choose to cut rates sooner. Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I've been arguing for a year and a half, and I've been wrong. That's all there is to it. I thought they would have cut by now. They're not. And there's no reason to cut, at least in this year, because the inflation numbers are still too high. Let's see, right here. Well, the Fed has eased monetary policy over the past 20 years, has cut interest rates quickly and sharply. In periods like the present, when rates exceed 5%, rate cuts totaled 4.5% to 5% over approximately 1.5 years. The fixed income markets currently forecast Fed funds rate cuts of less than 1% over the next 1.5. During past Fed easing cycles, the aggregate index outperformed cash by considerable margin. Yeah, 100%. So they're basically, when the rates cut, they cut fast and furious. Zoops, zoops, and zoops. Yeah, but the reason these rates were getting cut was massive recessions right here, massive recession right here, and then obviously the pandemic. So, I don't know if we're going to go into that. In other words, intermediate bond duration has tended to dominate the credit spread movement in recent rate cutting cycles. Once the Fed has reached its terminal rate, longer-term yields have usually declined as investors start to discount. I want to show you I want to show you. They're talking about the correlation between bonds and stocks. Bonds have shown negative return correlation with risky assets. Return correlation of bonds and stocks. So that makes sense. When markets get hammered, a lot of times people go to flight to quality, and government bonds will be the flight to quality for sure. I think they got it right here. One second. There's someone else. They had another chart in here. I could have sworn. I missed it. Yeah, what happened? They changed it. That's not what it was. Anyway, so there's another. I can't stand losing. I can't stand losing you. I thought I had another chart on bonds in here. I guess I don't. What the hell, man? That wasn't the same. They had another chart in there, which is interesting, talking about the duration risk. Duration risk is how much a bond would move on any given 1% increase in interest rates. That's duration. And the lower the yield, or the lower the coupon, the lower the coupon, the more duration risk there is, which is why long-term zero coupon government bonds, the longer the maturity and the lower the yield, the longer the maturity, the lower the coupon, the more duration risk there is, i.e. volatility, which is why long-term government bonds with zero coupons is the most volatile that are out there. All right, so what they said was, if you look back in the 80s, early 80s, when he had government bonds with coupons at 15%, duration risk was much lower than it was back then because the coupons were so high. Right now, you have coupons 4 and 5 on long-term bonds. The duration risk is 3 times what it was, and I don't know that for sure, but significantly higher than it was in the 80s. So what they're arguing is that makes the long-term bonds a little bit more less attractive than they were in the 80s. One, because the coupons are so much lower. And because the coupons are so much lower, there is still more duration risk inherent in buying these longer term bonds. So if the interest rates continue to go up, you could take more. It could be more painful on the downside. And that's what's been happening at EDV. Interest rates, they're probably leveled off now. I don't know. But I just don't pay attention to it because my portfolio consists of basically 65% VTI and a bunch of individual stocks, a couple individual stocks. 30% long-term bonds and 15% cash or something like that. I mean, I don't know exactly what it is, but along those lines. I don't think about it. That's perfect for me. I got enough cash to pay the bills. I got long-term bonds, which I know at some point are going to pop. And they might not. Either way, I'm still getting 4 or 5%. I'll take that to the bank. And then I got most of my stuff in stocks. I'm very, very comfortable with that. Once you hit a place where you're comfortable with your portfolio, you don't have to think about it anymore. You just don't. And let these doomsayers, oh, the bond market is going to get crushed. It's just so stupid. We've already had that happen. It already happened. And it's in 2022. It's never going to happen like that again. Obviously, I can't predict the future. The amount of bonds that have got crushed from 2022, that's just, come on, man. This is silly to think that, oh, they're going to raise interest rates more. It'll be just like 2022. No. Again, I can't tell you. No, I don't know. But I just find that silly. Stocks, we're at record highs. We're always at record highs. That's what the stocks do. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. But the rise is always, the trajectory is always to the northeast. It's going up, down, up, down. So the highs are always higher than they were before. Earnings are still pretty good. I mean, the earnings aren't freaking Reagan-esque, but they're still good. And that's what drives stocks. Earnings growth, and dividend yields. That's just a fact. Now you got to factor in stock buybacks as replaces some of the dividend yields. And Sniffy Joe is trying to get rid of some of the stock buyback stuff, but that's hasn't happened yet. Anyway, so stocks still look good to me. Bonds look great to me, and cash looks great to me. I think it's a great time to be an investor for sure. But you should have a portfolio that consists of all three: cash, bonds, and stocks, in my opinion, because I think bonds have a significant upside that's being overlooked. All the while, you're still clocking 4 or 5% yields right now. Cash, you get 4 or 5% yields. That's great. But like the article said, those yields could go away when they start cutting rates. And if they do cut rates, they usually cut fast. I've got no problem keeping a crap load of money in cash. Doesn't bother me in the least. Because remember, by the way, if you have a bunch of money in cash, what will not happen when the markets decline? You won't get squashed. And the reason they're cutting rates typically is because the economy is on its back and the markets are declining. Mark Zonder. I don't know who that guy is. Yeah, I like tips. I don't own any, but I got no problem with tips at all. What are the ultra short bond ETFs being pushed as zero risk? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not familiar with it. Pulls? I mean, it can't be. If it's zero, are they actually being pushed with zero risk? I mean, zero risk means that there's no loss of principal. And if a PULS ultra short, I mean, so there's loss of principal, not much. That's what's paying obviously is interest, but I don't know what that is. Right now it's got a yield of 5.67. So that looks risky to me right there. Looks like they had some risk there. So if they're saying no risk, we'll explain that. Not you, Andrew, but explain that to me. That was down. You lost 6%. So I mean that's not risk free. That's for sure. Yeah, anything that's non-risky has to be in short term. Yeah, like what my man's saying there. Fun guy, gov. Yeah, I mean, but you can't. But there's still risk there. I mean, look, there's a price volatility there. I mean, that's just a fact. Not much, but there's a price volatility. You can't say it's risk. Not you, Andrew, but they can't say that. No one should be saying it's risk free. That doesn't make sense. Now, is it free from default? If it's government stuff, yes, 100%. Is it free from default? Yes. Is it free from not paying its interest payments? Yes. All these things are true. But risk also includes volatility in the share price. And I think a lot of people misunderstand when people say it's risk free. That means there's no volatility in the share price. Oh, there could be. Getting sick watching pushing NVIDIA. Yeah. No, Norm was the best. What is it with a fixed income line? As a repair shop owner, I have to explain I am on a fixed income every day. If you let me fix your car, I will earn an income. 100%, man. I don't get I hear what you're saying. I'm just not sure in what regard. Morrissey said drummers are as replaceable as lawnmower parts. Man, if you want to be in a band, you got to be a drummer because they're always in need of a drummer. That's for sure. That's 100%, man. You need enough money where your portfolio performance doesn't matter. 100%. 100%. All right. How do I think the market will perform the rest of this year? I have no clue, man. They'll go up and they'll go down. They'll go up and they'll go down. There are ETFs to buy cryptocurrency that might be, what could go wrong? Eesh. They have some low quality bonds and ultra short term bond fund. I would think to juice the yields, they'd have to. I think you're not going to get 5.67 in a risk free portfolio when the Fed funds rate is 5.25 or something like that. I'm buying preferred stock ETF. Yeah, PFF. I like PFF for sure. I think market will be flat the rest of the year because of the presidential election. Anyone's guess, man. Anyone's guess. I don't know. I literally don't pay any mind to it. I heard the Dow was down 600 points the other day. It didn't faze me at all. So I don't watch the market because my portfolio is perfect for where I need it to be. It's great. I'm telling you, once you get that great portfolio, like I sleep like a babe. Oh, I sleep like a babe. And you don't have to worry about it. It's fantastic. The problem is when you're retired, you do got to worry about it because you got money coming out of there. And that's where you just can't have everything in stocks because you need to have some money to pay the bills. That's why the barbell approach works so well. A bunch of cash to cover you for 4 years, a bunch of stocks and or bonds. I would say stocks and bonds, frankly, to cover the rest. All right. I can get out here and go watch the rest of the Celtics game. God bless, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Happy George Floyd Memorial Day. Remember, it's a sad time for America. What are my thoughts on BDCs? I don't even know what BDCs are, man. Business development something? I have no clue. I don't know the first thing about BDCs. Yeah. I'm a caveman. I'm a caveman financial planner. So I don't play with your fancy stuff. I just like the index. That's all I want. VTI or bust, man. All I care about is the market gives me one more dollar than my withdrawals. Yeah, exactly. I bet they are up there, Kirk. I bet poor Leo. Pray for George Floyd. You should pray for him. But the idea that George Floyd died for all of us, show. It's a business development corporation for the yield chaser and me. Well, VTI and chill, dude. VTI and chill because VU doesn't have any small caps in there. All right, I'm out of here, my friends. We'll see you guys. God bless. Thanks.